Hello and welcome to a new episode of The Hapless Gardener. Bit of a celebration this week. It's my 4-year anniversary on this here plot. So 4 years. I think last year was my best year so far on the plot, and I'm hoping this year is going to be better than that. Like I said, I did start these in January again, and it's probably not the best time because it hadn't, after I made that video, it had a lot, right, this has got to go now. Alright, happy 4-year anniversary. Alright, put it in my beard. Alright, and yeah, after my last video, it just didn't seem to stop snowing. So every weekend, it was either snowing or sleeting or just freezing cold. I know obviously up north they've had it a lot worse. They're still getting it, I think. I'll keep seeing snow pictures on Instagram. Hapless Gardener on Instagram, if you haven't subscribed or started following me on that. I keep getting confused with the subscriptions and the follows. I'm going to take this off now. What else? Oh yeah, I've noticed that there's been I've had a little bump in subscribers on YouTube, and I can only assume that the majority of you are new plot holders. So I thought, I'm not planting anything this week, so I thought maybe just a little, something for the noobs, if that's all right. So if you're an old, you can switch off now, I suppose. But if you're a noob, maybe stay tuned, and I'll talk you through what happened to me 4 years ago. And yeah, let's do that. So if you're a new plot holder, then there's a good chance that your plot is probably overgrown and been left like that for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, depending. Or it might be great, you might get there and you probably have hardly anything to do, which would be perfect. But when I got my plot, it had been left for about 18 months, maybe 2 years. But because I got it in February, a lot of the weeds you couldn't really see because it all just died off over the winter. But I was too quick to just want to get stuck in. I hadn't had a garden for a long time. Just the thought of getting involved in a big garden was just kind of excited me too much, I think. When I got this plot, they already put raised beds up on the hill there as it sort of goes up. And I looked at them and was like, they're all rotten. Just pulled them straight out. And they would have probably done me for another year if I'd have left them there. But yeah, I think I was too quick just to go, well, I want it mine, I want to make this plot mine. I was too quick to take them out. Looking back, if I'd have already got structures in place, I'd have probably left them there for that season to see what they did, really, and then sort of replace them or upgrade them the following year. My first bit of advice would be just to manage your expectations a little bit, okay? Think about how much time you can give to the plot, and because it's really easy to get overwhelmed if you just start hammering different bits at a time. And so I'd suggest that you start with a small patch and just work your way around. That way it just won't be overwhelming. So if you spend, I don't know, a few hours up here on a Saturday afternoon and you clear a big spot, you're like, it's a big sense of accomplishment. If you've just gone around and just picked up little bits and not really had a plan, then you kind of feel like you haven't done anything. Manage your expectations. Think about how much time you can give to the plot, and go from there. Because if you can only give a couple of hours a week, if you've got families, we've all got different lives going on. If you can get up here every day, then have at it. But you do run the risk of sort of burning yourself out a little bit as well, because you'll get home and you go, I haven't done any gardening for years and everything hurts. Well, you might be fit and healthy, I don't know any of those people. So yeah, that's my first bit of advice. Start off small and work your way up. Alright, because if you've got a lot of digging to do and that's all you seem to be doing when you go up there, you're not going to want to go back up there very much. You just be like, oh, it feels like a job now. But yeah, so that's my first bit of advice. Advice 1. Is that a thing? My second bit of advice would be just to have a think about what you want to actually grow. What do you eat? You know, you don't want to grow stuff that you're not going to eat, because it's just a waste of everybody's time. I don't know why people do that. But mind you, I do grow runner beans and I don't really like them, so I do give those away. But yeah, just have a little think about what you want to grow, and again, it all comes down to time management. How much time can you give to the plot? Again, if you're only giving it a couple of hours a week, then you probably don't really want to grow a massive variety of things, because they all need different things at different times. So, you know, maybe stick to just the odd few things in your first year, and if you've managed them well, then you go, oh, you know what, I'm going to grow those again, but this time I'm going to add X and Y to that as well, so I'll have an X. So just again, it's drips and drabs, just take your time with it, and that way you'll enjoy it more. Just went to have a drink of me brew, and someone's fell in it. Who's having it now? So that's a whole big thing of tea. I've had about 4 sips of that. There's a pandemic on, so I can't drink that now. What I'll do actually, I'll give you, I don't know, top 5 things to grow for first time growers. That's a good idea, isn't it? Potatoes. But you don't want to overthink potatoes. I normally just grow the main crop, which I think it's main crop. I plant it around Easter time. It's a bit of an Easter tradition. Get your spuds out in Easter. This main crop, that's the ones I'd go for if you're a first timer. Don't get too confused about all the different cropping times. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different cropping times. But if you just go for say a King Edward main crop, that's going to be good for you. There's plenty of videos of people putting them, showing you how to put your spuds in. That's my number 1 sort of first timer crop, spuds. They're fun as well, because when you harvest them, it's like opening Christmas presents. How many am I going to get? And the reason why I said the King Edward variety, because it's kind of, you can do pretty much everything that you want with a spud with it. You can bake it, you can chip it, roast it, you can do what you want with it. It's a white potato as well. Number 2, I think salad leaves. You're all going, oh, I've just got an allotment just to grow bloody salad leaves. Aaron, you silly hapless gardener. And I go, I know that, but it's a great little thing to have once you've sowed the seeds within 3 weeks, I think it is, something like that. So if you sow them in about April time, then in the summer you'll be harvesting them every sort of couple of weeks. You'd just be taking the leaves off, taking them home. It's just another thing to take home from the plot, rather than just coming up and just sort of poking at stuff going, oh, nothing's ready yet. You can always go home with a few salad leaves, and there's tons of varieties you can buy. I'm not going to recommend any, because you can just find what you want. If you want a peppery one or a normal sort of mildly flavoured one, there's tons. I normally plant mine in a raised bed, like a trough that I've got. So this big, obviously not much going on in there at the minute, but yeah, I normally put mine in there, and like I said, I'd re-sow them after the 3rd sort of harvest of them, and that way, yeah, you just keep them churning over well into sort of, you know, the autumn time when the weather changes. But salad leaves, I'd fully recommend them. So easy to grow. You can grow them on a windowsill. If you're waiting to get your allotment, you can sort of grow them on windowsills and stuff. Really nice, really easy. So I'm going to recommend peas or beans. I'm going to put them in the same bracket. Beans and peas in spot number 3 for things. Top 5 easy things to grow for a first-time gardener. It's quite a long tag, but yeah, peas. If you've got a small plot, maybe you've got a small garden that you just want to sort of put something out in, then I recommend runner beans, because they all grow up. So do the peas, but I'll start with the runner beans. Runner beans are easy. You just put some bamboo up, or big sticks, whatever, and it'll climb up that, and you'll harvest runner beans sort of, I think they started around July, and then you have to pick them all the time to encourage extra growth. So you'll just have loads. If you plant about 4 or 5 plants, you'll have a ton of runner beans. I'm not a massive fan of them, but I give them away and people enjoy them. I do eat them from time to time. But yeah, runner beans and peas, bracket peas as well. Peas they grow much the same. With me, I did an easy peasy pea frame video, which I'll put a little link to, or maybe show you a little clip from. And this is the way you put peas in. So if you could grow them up against a fence, to be honest, they will grow through. You might not get much of a bounty, but again, if you haven't got much space, peas, and again from about July, August, you'll be harvesting. Just keep picking them. You'll be harvesting them weekly, pretty much. In 4th position, I'll put some squash. I know a lot of people wouldn't recommend squashes because they do grow quite large, so you do need their own separate patch. So this is more for people that have got a larger garden or a larger area that you can just sort of put a couple of pumpkin plants in or something like that. If you've got kids, they're great to harvest just before Halloween. You can get all kinds of different looking pumpkins now. There's some really good fun ones out there. So a lot of people wouldn't recommend that for first timers and people that haven't got a large amount of space, because they do like to spread out and they grow quite large. You've seen pumpkins, you know how big pumpkins are. Maybe you've been to a pumpkin patch and you've seen how big they are. Well, but I do recommend them because they're good fun. I like seeing them just swell up and it's good fun. So pumpkins or marrows, anything like that, Google squashes and buy some seeds. They're good fun. And finally, coming in at number 5, I'll go for onions. Yeah, everyone loves onions, right? Onions go in everything. If you don't like them raw, then they're good cooked. They're sort of an ingredient to most things, I think. I seem to use onions all the time, so that's why I grow quite a lot of them. It's something we have all the time. So yeah, you can get onions by seed, which are a lot harder to establish. You probably need like a greenhouse or something, because you need to start them around about now. I think it's not too far off, but you need them in a nice warm environment to start them off. But you can plant them a bit later on in the year. You can buy onion sets, and they're great. You can get red and white as well. Again, all the varieties are out there, and they're great because they're just like little bulbs. Pop them in some soil, get their root established, and then just pop them straight in the ground and just watch them grow. They're good. They're good. I like them. That's what I normally do at onion sets. I did some from seed, but didn't have much success last year. So hopefully this year, I think I'm just going to stick with the sets. It's just easy. So that's my top 5 tips for noobs. And I think the main thing about having an allotment is just that you enjoy it. You don't make it feel like work, because if it feels like a job, then it's kind of pointless. So take my advice, don't take it, do what you want, but as long as you enjoy it at the end of the day, that's the main thing. That's all there is about allotmenteering. It's about enjoying it, meeting new people, learning new things, harvesting your hard work and taking it home and eating it, and feeding your family with your hard work. It's great. So enjoy it, and if you've liked this video, subscribe if you fancy it, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, take it easy, stay safe.